When the Messerschmitt Me 262 first took flight, it looked like a miracle. A jet-powered fighter that could fly faster than anything in the sky. German pilots believed it would turn the tide, end the bombing of their cities, and restore their air superiority. But what they didn't know was that this incredible machine had arrived too late, and that its greatest enemy wasn't the Allies, it was time itself. Stay until the end to find out how the Messerschmitt Me 262, the jet that promised salvation, became a symbol of what could have been. A desperate dream. By 1943, the skies over Germany were burning. American B-17s and B-24s bombed factories, railways and cities almost daily. The German Air Force, once feared across Europe, was bleeding pilots and aircraft faster than they could be replaced. In secret hangars and wind tunnels, German engineers worked on a weapon they believed would change everything. A fighter that would leave propeller-driven planes hopelessly behind. The Messerschmitt Me 262. It was the world's first operational jet fighter, powered by two revolutionary Jumo 0.04 turbojet engines. It could fly at over 540 miles per hour, nearly 100 miles faster than the fastest Allied fighter. To the German Air Forces, the Me 262 looked like a miracle. To the German leader, it looked like the weapon that would turn defeat into victory. A battle against time. But even miracles need time, and time was something Germany no longer had. Every week, the Allies bombed another airfield, another factory. Fuel was running out. Pilots were young and untrained, and production lines were constantly being rebuilt after raids. The Messerschmitt Me 262's engines were cutting-edge but fragile. Each one lasted barely 25 hours of flight time before breaking down. Jet fuel was scarce and spare parts were rarer still. Still, the engineers pressed on. In July 1944, the Me 262 finally entered combat. It was faster, sleeker, and more fatal and advanced than anything the world has ever seen at the time, and for a brief moment it worked as intended. The sky belongs to the jet. Allied bomber crews began reporting encounters with mysterious aircraft that streaked past them at unbelievable speeds. Gunners barely had time to fire before the jet was gone. The Me 262 could dive on a bomber formation, unleash its four 30mm cannons, and vanish before the escorts could react. When everything worked perfectly, it was unstoppable. A single Messerschmitt Me 262 could destroy multiple bombers in one attack run. The pilots called it Schwalbe, the swallow bird. But perfection in war is rare, and soon cracks began to show. The German leader's mistake. Inside the German command, a dangerous decision was made. The German leader personally intervened in the program, insisting that the Messerschmitt Me 262 be used not as a fighter, but as a fighter bomber. He wanted it to strike Allied ground troops, not protect the skies. Engineers and pilots protested. They knew that mounting bombs on the jet would ruin its performance and delay its deployment. But orders were orders. By the time the Messerschmitt 262 returned to its intended role as an interceptor, months had been lost, precious months Germany could never regain. Too few, too late. By the end of 1944, the Allies controlled the air. Thousands of Mustangs, Thunderbolts and Spitfires patrolled Europe. They attacked Me-262 airfields the moment they were spotted, catching them during takeoff or landing, the jet's most vulnerable moments. The Me-262 was fast in the air, but slow to climb and accelerate. Allied pilots learned to wait for them near runways, striking before the jets could reach full power. For every Messerschmitt 262 that got airborne, several were destroyed on the ground. For every ace who learned to master it, dozens of rookies perished trying. In total, fewer than 300 Me-262s ever saw real combat. They were magnificent, but hopelessly outnumbered. The jet age arrives. By 1945, Allied troops were closing in on Germany from all sides. Factories were captured, airfields were abandoned, and the once mighty German Air Force was in ruins. When American and British engineers finally examined the Me-262, they were stunned. It was years ahead of its time, a glimpse into the future of flight. The Allies quickly studied its design, using its jet technology to build their own post-war aircraft. In many ways, the Me-262 didn't save Germany. It helped shape the modern jet age that came after. Legacy of a lost miracle. The Me-262 remains one of the greatest what-if machines in history. If it had appeared 1 year earlier, with trained pilots and stable engines, it might have changed the air war completely. Instead, it became a symbol of Germany's doomed brilliance, a masterpiece that arrived when the war was already lost. As one German pilot later said, "We had the future in our hands, but the future came too late." And so the jet that could have saved the Germans became a legend of what might have been. This is a true World War II story, because sometimes even the biggest technological achievements cannot beat Father Time. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more true World War II stories.